Well, this is how you get started with IntelliJ on the lab, in the CS lab, which would be 301 or B5. There's one in Schaefer as well. And these instructions, although they're specific to Windows, there's some commonality with what you might see under Linux or on a Mac. So if you follow these, it'll be a little bit different in different situations, but I think the basic ideas are much the same. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through how to launch it and how to customize it. And the very first time you do this, it's a little different. So here you see I've selected to launch, and you have to search for JetBrains, and under JetBrains you look for IntelliJ. That's the way they set it up in the lab. And then you'll see the very first time, do you want to import settings, and you just say OK here. We don't have any previous settings to import, so there's nothing special to do here. And after you do the OK, the next screen will ask you to accept the privacy policy. So please press accept there. And this will bring up another screen which asks you to set themes. And there's a lower left corner to skip a bunch of stuff. But just to be different, I'm going to click on the lower right to see what the plugins are. It gives you some idea of other things that it can do. There are some standard plugins that it has already installed. And it'll go on. I'll click right again and it will show me 2 more plugins, which is fine. Then finally we see the splash screen, and this is how IntelliJ usually shows that it's launching. And this will persist a little while it's loading up files and caches and so forth, and it's getting ready to start. And then finally the very first time, and you'll see this kind of screen. And this is an interesting screen, and I'm going to click on the configure, because the very first time I want to set up the EduTools plugin. So to do that, I'm going to click on configure and go down to plugins. You've seen I've highlighted plugins here. And then underneath plugins, when I release that, I'm going into and I see some standard plugins. And then on the lower left, there's JetBrains plugins, and I'm clicking that. So under JetBrains plugins, there's a bunch of them, and I'm going to scroll down until I find one called EduTools. And the EduTools, then I'll go over to the green thing on the right, and I'm going to click that green thing to install the EduTools plugin. And after I install it, it should look like this. And it gives me the opportunity to restart. I don't really care about restarting now. And what I want you to do when you see this is just quit.